Hi guys, in today's video we're going to discuss the next 15 MCQs regards to the JavaScript where we will gonna discuss some of the conditional operators that are mainly part of the object topic which we covered in the previous video on JavaScript. I have created a separate video on objects, you guys can watch it. And if you have any concept that isn't clear, do let me know through the comments. I will give you a properly guide. So subscribe my channel for future videos. Let's start our video. The first question is, what does the shorten notation name age do when creating an object? So we have discussed that this is the way that we use to destructure an object by giving a variables to access the elements inside an object. So what it do? It creates an object with properties named name and age, assigning them the values of variable with the same name. So the third one is a correct one. It is used to assign the values to the variable, which you can see I have given two variable with a name of name and age. These two are the variables that is used to assign the value inside the object. So the third one is the correct answer. Another question, we have been given a code where we have to find the solution of it. So you can see there is an object has been given with the three properties and the three values with 1, 2 and 3. So let's say if we delete the object B property, if we remove this part, then what will be the output? So you can see if the B part has been removed, then we will gonna only see inside the output A and C properties with the respective values. So the B will be deleted. So the first part is the correct answer. What will be the output of the following code? You can see I have given an object with the three properties, brand, model and year, with the given strings and number. So here if I delete the year property inside the car, and after that, after removing this part, I will check inside the console.log car.year. So if I delete the car.year, the property inside the object, so do I am gonna see the output? No, it will show me undefined. It is not defined. Why? Because the year property has been deleted, so I cannot see anything inside the output. I will only see undefined, which is not defined inside the object which has been deleted. So another question, which operator is commonly used to remove properties from an object in JavaScript? So basically remove is also used to remove the properties from an object in JavaScript, but we prefer delete. Delete is used to remove the properties from an object in JavaScript. You guys can see that I have used delete here, so the delete is the correct answer. So another question, what will be the output of the following code? You can see I have given an object with the two properties, x value is 0, while on the other hand y value is null. And I'm gonna check inside the console.log object has on property y, so it will gonna show me the true. It has its on property, y has on property of object, so the true is the correct part. Another question, there is a two properties given inside an person object, and inside the console log I want to check that the name in person, that the name comes in person. So it will gonna show me the output true. The true is the correct part because names comes in person object. What will be the output of the following code? You guys can see that I have given an object and I'm checking that the A property, the given value to the A property is undefined, and inside the console.log I will check that the object.a is not equal to the undefined, which will cause false. This is false because object.a is equal to the undefined, but in this case we have given a exclamation mark, which means not equal to. so it will be a false. Another question, what will be the output of the following code? You can see the same object has been given here again with the two properties, name Alice and age 30. And I will check again. I think this question has been repeated again. So here answer will be true. So you can see that there is a code has been given. There is an object. The object person name, there is an object given with a name of person, and inside the person object there is a another objects has been given with the name of contact and phone number. And you can see that inside the phone object I have given a two properties with the name of with the values home and work. So these two are the properties. And we have been asked how would you access telephone number from this object. So if we want to access the telephone number, what we're gonna simply do, we're gonna use a dot notation. So the third one is the correct answer. Person, first we access the person object which comes first, then we access the contact object, and then we access the phone object, and then we're gonna access the work property. So here our output will be work. So the third one is the correct answer. We're gonna use the dot notation here. We have discussed that the object, in order to access the values inside the object, we use either a dot notation or a bracket notation. So here we're gonna use the dot notation. So you guys can see that I have given a object with the name of person, and inside the person object I have given a property with the name of Alice, the string, and inside the object I have given another object with the two respective properties and the values. And you can see that the hobbies, the property hobbies contains an array, the two strings reading and swimming. And inside the console.log, what we are doing here, we need to access the hobbies one index. So one thing you guys need to understand that the hobbies is a property which contains an array of strings. So if we want to access the index of one inside the hobbies and inside the details object and inside the person object, so what will we gonna get? We're gonna get this swimming, because we know that the index value start from the 0 and then 1. So inside the console log we need to access the one index. So we know that the swimming comes on one index, so the output will be swimming. Another question, I have given a object with the name of data, and inside the data object you guys can see that there is an array given. Array. One thing you guys need to understand that this is an array, a property with the three more objects inside the array. You can see that there is a three more objects inside the array of results inside the data object. If you are getting confused, do let me know. I will explain it more for you guys in the comments as well, and we can discuss further. So inside the console log, what I am doing here, I am just assessing first of all the first object, which is a data, and inside the data I will assess the array, which is a result. We know that result, and I will assess the first index. We know that there is a three objects given inside the result array. So the first object comes on 0 index, the second comes on 1, and the third comes on 2 index. So what we are assessing the first index of the results array, and what we need to get the name value. So we know that the first index name is Bob, so the answer will be Bob, because you can see that the first index which comes here between the two objects, data.result, and the index value of result is 1, so the second object, and the name of the second object is Bob, so the Bob is the correct answer. Another question, which of the following is not a primitive data type in JavaScript? We know that we have discussed this in the previous video that array is not a primitive data type. Number, string, and boolean, these are all the primitive data type. What happens when you assign a primitive value to a new variable? When we assign a primitive value to a new variable, the new variable gets a reference to the original value. The value is copied to a new variable. Both variables share the same memory location. The original variable becomes null. So the correct answer is the value is copied to the new variable. What will be the output of the following code? You can say that there is two variables has been declared. First variable x has been given a value 10, and the second variable y has been given a variable x. You can see this x comes from here, and inside, and again I have reassigned the value, a new value to the x variable, to the same x variable, and this time I'm gonna check the value of y. So what will be the value of y? 10 will be the value of y. Why? Because y has been assigned a value of x which was initially set to 10. So the 10 is the correct answer. 20 has been set after the y assigned to the x. So it won't gonna show us 20, the output. 10 is the correct answer. Another question, what is the main difference between a function and an object method? So methods are associated with objects while functions are standalone. So we can see that whenever we work on the objects, we need methods to assess the values or to make further adjustment on objects. While if we talk about the functions are the standalone. So I believe you guys can say, and I believe you guys understand the use of this concept which we have discussed. We have discussed some of the objects, and we have discussed how we assess the elements inside the objects. So I believe you guys understand that. I have discussed this in our previous objects video, which I have created on separate. You guys can watch that as well. So I believe you guys understand this today's lecture. So we'll meet you in the next lecture. Subscribe my channel for further future videos, and do let me know through the comments if you have guys fully understand the use of these methods and notations. Thank you so much.